Hallelujah, hallelujah. You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church. The gates of Hades will not prevail against it. Hallelujah. The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. When Jesus came into the district of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do people say that the Son of Man is?" And they said, "Some say John the Baptist, but others Elijah, and still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets." He said to them, "But who do you say that I am?" Simon Peter answered, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." And Jesus answered him, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father in heaven. And I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not prevail against it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." Then Jesus sternly ordered the disciples not to tell anyone that he was the Christ. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Good evening, my dear brothers and sisters. Our readings for this Sunday, actually we are now on the 21st Sunday in Ordinary Time, and today our readings for today speaks about authority and power. So this evening, we are informed, our readings, we are informed about the idea of being chosen. That's why, if you listen attentively, in our first reading from the book of the prophet Isaiah, a mysterious figure by the name Eliakim was chosen by God to be an administrator of Jerusalem. Chosen to be administrator of Jerusalem. He was given dignity, he was given the authority and the power to open and to close the house of David. He was given the key, and key is a symbol of power. In our gospel, it is a symbol of loosing and binding. It means when you're given a key, it is an act of entrusting. And Eliakim was given the key of the city so that he can open the door to the people to come to God. And he has the authority to close the door to those who turn away from God. But it's good to emphasize on our first reading that he was chosen as an administrator, but not to replace God. Okay? What I'm trying to tell is we are just stewards of God's power and authority. When you are given a key, it means it is entrusted to you. You are an administrator, but you are not the owner. Therefore, we are chosen, we are stewards, administrator, but please do not replace God. That's why in our second reading, we are reminded of one important reality. All authority is God-given. All power is from the Lord. It's very clear. It is from God, for God, and in God. For from Him, through Him, and to Him, all things are. My dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters, it's good to ask ourselves this evening, how do you exercise your authority? How are you as a parent? Myself, how am I as a priest? How are you as a leader in a community? You know what? Don't pretend that we are more powerful than God. Never assume that we are more wiser than God. Do not pretend that we have authority over God. But sometimes the devil will make you believe that you are more powerful than God. When you have the job when you have the money, you will believe that you are more stronger and powerful than him. I remember when I don't know, it was I think last week when I shared the people who came here for the regular masses. Do you remember the famous guy, John Lennon, I think, if I'm not mistaken with the name? And he said, I don't need God. Because he's very famous, he has the power, I think he's the leader of the band. What happened? He died. And there are so many people, they're telling, because of their fame, because of their power, because of their authority. And sometimes there is a temptation that I don't need God anymore in my life. But friends, we are just administrators. So, therefore, don't pretend that we are more powerful than God. This is my reflection. Authority is an exercise of love. It's an exercise of love. You are given an authority because you have the capacity to love. When you're given an authority, it means you are given the authority because you have the capacity to love. Therefore, don't be a dictator. Try not to be an authoritarian. That is, authoritarian means you're telling everybody what to do. You are bossy. If you're authoritarian, you're telling people, hey, do what I say. Authority is an exercise to love. When God is giving you authority, it means God is telling you that you have the capacity to love. When God is giving me authority to become a priest, it means God is entrusting, God is giving me a chance, the capacity to love, not to lord over people. 3 points that I would like to share to you tonight. First, it is very clear in our readings that it is God who chooses people to lead. It is God who chooses you to be a parent. It is God who chose me to become a priest. It's always from the initiative of God. And it is just our response. We are chosen not because of our achievements. We are chosen not because we are the best. We are chosen not because of our skills. We are chosen not because of our appearance, because we are good looking and we have a pleasing personality. We are chosen not because of our influence. But we are simply chosen because God loves us. We don't know about the life of Eliakim. He's a very mysterious figure. But Peter, in our gospel, we have a little knowledge of him. We know that he had some failure. He's a very aggressive man. He is a man who acts without thinking, very impulsive, act without thinking. He is known as the denial king. And sometimes, he is a man without manner. Do things without thinking. But why entrust the key of heaven to him? Why choose Peter? What's the point? What's the point? And this is, I'm not an original on this one, but someone said, God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the call. God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the call. Even if you look at yourself today, sometimes you think that I'm not qualified to become a father. I am not qualified to become a mother. But God qualifies me. As what in myself, I share this one. My Italian formator told me during their time, in order for you to become a priest, at least you need to require to pass the 3 B in Italian. B. In order to become a priest during their time, this is what he told us. At least number 1, you will be bene, bene, in French, bien, Bene, at least if you wanted to become a priest, at least bene means you should be the best. That's the first requirement. Second, you should be bene. Bene means you must have a pleasing personality. You should be good-looking guy. You should be attractive. You should have the looks. Bene. And third, this is what he told us. If you wanted to become a priest, at least you must be bravo, bravo. It means you'll be brave, you will be great. And looking at myself, perhaps I could be best, but I don't think I have the pleasing personality. So failed. I'm not the smart person. But you know, I'm not perfect. I'm not qualified, personally speaking. But that's not the point. Because we are not looking about the qualities of man. I mean the standard of man. But we're talking about the standard of God. God does not call the qualified, but He qualifies the called. We are not perfect. That's why don't strive to be perfect. Strive to be the best. God always chooses the one. God always, He is the one who chooses the people who will lead His church. And second, today, since we talk about authority and power, my dear friends, please pray for those in authority that they may be faithful to their promises. Pray for those in authority that they may be faithful to the mandate of the church. No, I'm begging you, I'm asking you, my dear parishioners, listen to your leaders, listen to your shepherds. Don't criticize them, protect them, love them. You know, our province, politically speaking, we are divided. And most of the time we are not into the administration now. But today, we are challenged. Please, pray for those in authority. I saw a little girl here. You know, I'm talking to you, baby. Please, your mom and your dad is your shepherd. Shepherds, your leader. Please, listen to your parents. Don't be a headache to your family. Protect your parents. Stop complaining and don't be angry and upset with them. Talk to your parents nicely. Because some kids right now, they shout at their parents. They don't respect anymore. They're leaders. They're shepherds. And even nowadays, it is an irony. I don't know if it happens to you. There are some people who are like this. They talk to animals, they talk to the flowers, but they shout at people. There are people who are very nice to flowers, nice to pets. They talk to their toys, but they shout at people. Hey! Talk to people, shout at animals. Protect, respect, don't criticize, love, and pray for those in authority. And finally, we have to exercise responsibly the powers and authority God has entrusted to us. Because there is one woman who said, and her name is Patricia Cornwell, and I quote, this is what she said: "The root of all evil is the abuse of power." The root of all evil is the abuse of power. Remember, we are only God's stewards. So, do not pretend that we are more powerful, more wiser, more superior than God. Today, we need a good leaders. And in order to help them, we should bring them into our prayers. And the question in today's gospel is asking each and every one of us. It is a lifelong question. And Jesus is asking, who do people say that I am? And they're telling that, you are this, you're Elijah, you are Jeremiah, you are John the Baptist, or one of the prophets. But Jesus said, hey, wait for a minute. How about you? Who do you say that I am? It means the more our knowledge of God should be personal. Our knowledge of God should be first-hand experience. Don't rely on what others are saying about God. What matters is our personal experience with God. Our knowledge should be direct knowledge. It should be first class. It should be from you. And because Christianity is not an intellectual affirmation. Christianity is not intellectual process or affirmation, but personal and relational discovery. And Jesus is asking us the question, who do you say that I am? Because He wanted to develop a relationship with us. And let me end up my reflection with this. Friends, always remember this one. Relationship with Jesus is the most important relationship. No other relationship can substitute. When you are given a power of authority, make that power will help you, bring you more closer to God. And repeat what I've said. Relationship with the Lord is the most important relationship. No other relationship can substitute. Even the relationship with your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, and whatsoever. Because God is irreplaceable.